For our prayer time today, I want to be mindful that it's Mother's Day. I'll grant you it's a very unusual Mother's Day. It's a Mother's Day where moms all over aren't going to be able to kiss and hug those that they would love to kiss and hug. And yet their role, their calling still continues. In watching my wife interact with our grandkids, I was struck by how much positive effect a grandmother's love can have in this society if it was spread out. And so I have a little reading that I wrote on if grandmas ruled the world. Now I know it's fanciful, but bear with me. If grandmas ruled the world, every child would grow up knowing they are worthy of love simply because they are. If grandmas ruled the world, war would cease to exist. Why? Because every child grew up knowing they were worthy of love simply because they are. If grandmas ruled the world, billionaires would not exist because every child grew up knowing they're worthy of love and they didn't need to find love in accumulating great wealth. If grandmas ruled the world, injustice would fade to a distant memory of a different time because every child grew up knowing they were loved simply for being who they are. And if grandmas ruled the world, the earth and all its life forms would flourish. Why? Because a grandmother's love knows no bounds. And those that are touched by that love understand they are worthy of love simply for being who they are. Someday, not today, but perhaps tomorrow, if future generations will have a chance at existence, then we will have realized this wisdom in some way, shape, or form. Mother's Day originally was a call for peace in response to the carnage of war. The 1870 Mother's Day Proclamation, the very one, was an impassioned plea by activist Julia Ward Howe. She wrote, "Well, let women now leave all that may be left of home for a great and earnest day of counsel with each other as to the means whereby the great human family can live in peace." So this Mother's Day, this strange, isolated Mother's Day, let's reclaim the intention of the original Mother's Day, to gather and act together to challenge war, to teach compassion, work towards peace and justice. As peace activist Ursula Franklin famously asserted, peace is not an absence of war, it is the presence of justice. So our prayer for our mothers and how they would have us live is the Peace Prayer by St. Francis. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace. Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in the giving that we receive, it is in the pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is in the dying that we are born to eternal life.